Today, we are going to discuss about WordPress, how to identify vulnerabilities in WordPress, how you can pen test effectively web applications running on WordPress CMS. The first question here is why WordPress? Because 43% of the web is built on WordPress. What does that mean? That means there is a lot of attack surface that you can identify on WordPress-based web applications. Am I audible to everyone clearly? Please let me know. Yes, excellent. All right. So if WordPress is one of the most used CMS, there would be different test cases that we have to perform on WordPress-based applications. Although our methodology and approach for identifying vulnerability based on the OWASP top 10 standard remains the same, but there would be something different that we might have to approach for web applications running on WordPress. Now, what are those new things? As we know, WordPress is a CMS which allows anyone to quickly run their web applications based on themes and plugins. So themes and plugins remains the most important part of WordPress installation. That means there are hundreds and thousands of plugins and themes that are constantly being developed by a lot of developers, which tend to have vulnerabilities. Now, due to a vulnerable plugin or a vulnerable theme, we can attack a web application running on WordPress. So how do we identify vulnerable plugins or vulnerable themes in a web application to tend to identify security vulnerabilities in WordPress websites? So we are going to cover that today. Also, the WordPress CMS itself might contain vulnerabilities as well. So we will also see how you can identify such vulnerabilities in the CMS itself. So the first thing that we are going to do is set up a WordPress locally in our system. So I have set it up a local WordPress installation in my computer, and you can see over here, which is currently running on my local host, port number 31337. I'm running this in a Docker, as we can see over here. You can also configure and set up this for identifying vulnerabilities in the CMS or any new plugin that has been released. You can download it, install it locally into your computer, start fiddling with it, fuzz it, and see for an unexpected behavior that you might see in that plugin, theme, etc. And this way, you might be able to identify a new issue. All right, so I have set it up this locally into my computer. The first thing that we have to understand is on the web, for different type of bug bounty programs or for any pen test engagement that you go, what are the ways that you first identify if the web application is running on WordPress or no? So technology detection is the first step or the first point when you want to approach WordPress-based applications. So to do that, we are going to use two methods. The first is the GUI-based. The second one is the CLI-based. Now, for identifying WordPress-based web applications, I'm going to install an extension, which is Vapalizer. So Vapalizer is a free extension that you can install in your browser. So let me just type Vapalizer extension for Chrome. This is also available for other browsers like Firefox, Brave, etc. Now, Vapalizer is a technology profiler. That means I can use this to identify the running underlying tech for any given target. So I have already installed this. I'm going to go back over here and click on this. Once I click on this, you can see clearly that the current running CMS is WordPress 5.3. If I go on any other web application, so let me go to this website, for instance, and you can see Vapalizer again gives me an alert that this web application is also running on WordPress. We can also see the web application is using Elementor in the background, and that's really nice. Let's go back over here and see. We can see the WordPress theme that is being used is 2020. So based on Vapalizer, you can identify what is the underlying technology. We have identified that the CMS is WordPress. We also saw the theme which has been installed. Now, this is basic information for you to begin. Once you have identified your target is running the underlying WordPress version. Now we can see over here, this is running version 5.3, whereas we can see over here, it is not showing what specific version is running. Now, for targets, wherein you identify the specific version that is being running, you can check quickly if it is an outdated version or no. If WordPress version 5.3 is outdated and contain security vulnerabilities, then you can simply exploit that. If there's a public exploit which is available either on GitHub or Metasploit, you can quickly exploit it. You can see WordPress 5.3 has multiple vulnerabilities, as we can see over here. Now, these vulnerabilities exist due to themes and plugins as well. For example, you can see over here, this specific vulnerability says authenticated accesses in file uploads, or maybe any other plugin as well. Now, these vulnerabilities exist in the CMS directly, as you can see. Authenticated accesses, reflected accesses, SQL injection via WP query, etc. So these are the vulnerabilities present in the CMS. As this is an older version of WordPress, you would also see the vulnerabilities present in plugins and themes too, which we are going to cover just now. All right, so now I came to know that this target is running a vulnerable version of WordPress, which has multiple vulnerabilities and issues into it. The first way was technology detection using Vapalizer. You can also use an extension which is built with, which is similar to Vapalizer, which will help you identify the underlying technology for that web application. This extension is also available on the Chrome App Store from where you can download it for free. Let us go to this website and reload it, and let's go to build with. This is a CAPTCHA, so let's complete the CAPTCHA. And you can see the basic information over here, wherein we can see there is Elementor Pro and a WordPress plugin. There is a WordPress SEO plugin and other basic information as well. You can also know from here the same thing, but here we are getting more detailed version of what we got from Vapalizer. You can see essential add-ons, Power Pack add-ons, Live Mesh add-ons. So we can see comparatively more output than Vapalizer over here, wherein we can see there are specific plugins that have been installed for this specific target, which is running on an underlying WordPress CMS. So this was technology detection using extensions directly from your browser.